All right, ready to dive deep. Today, it's all about these vaults in Minecraft.
Vaults.
Yeah, we're going to find out how they work, where they are, and we'll even get into like what vault even means, outside the game.
Hmm.
We got a ton of cool sources for this one, even like the actual game code itself. So we're going deep, deep, deep.
Deep. I gotta say, I'm already kind of stumped. Like, why are these things so different from any other container in the game? Especially because they only show up in one super specific place. What'd you find out about that?
Well, it's really interesting. They're very closely tied to that Tricky Trials update that dropped back in June 2024.
Right,
It
right.
wasn't just like, oh, we added a thing. It was a whole package deal to make the game, well, trickier, but with better rewards, too.
Makes sense.
Like, that update also brought in the crafters, right?
Uh-huh.
And the copper bulbs and the breeze rods. It's all connected to these tricky trials.
Oh, okay. So you're saying there's like a link between those items and how the vaults actually work.
Totally. For example, the crafters.
They let you build like special tools and gear that might be essential to get through the challenges in these trial chambers. That's where the vaults are, by the way.
Ah.
And those breeze rods, well, they can mess with the environment in ways that, could either help or totally screw you up as you're going through the trials. Strategy, man.
That's actually really cool. They really thought this update through.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, back to the vaults themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole point of a vault is what's inside it, right?
Yeah.
What can players actually find in these things?
Okay, so like a lot of stuff in Minecraft, there's definitely a random factor.
Right.
You never know exactly what you're going to get. But there's a range from basic helpful stuff like emeralds, arrows, iron ingots, that kind of stuff.
Right, the essentials.
Yeah. But then there's like the really rare treasures.
Ooh, so you can find high-level items too.
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole other layer to the whole challenge and reward thing.
Yeah.
I bet players are going crazy trying to get their hands on that rare loot.
You bet. And it's not as simple as just, opening a chest. You have
Right.
to activate the vault first.
Bro, how do you do that?
Step within 4 blocks of it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and that triggers a mechanism that, like, reveals a keyhole.
Ooh, that's so cool. It's like a secret passage or something.
Yeah.
So how do you actually get the key?
That's where the trial spawners come in.
Oh, right.
You gotta defeat all the waves of enemies that come from it. Real test of skill, how well you use your resources. And sometimes, let's be real, a bit of luck.
Yeah.
But the reward, worth it.
And this spawner is right by the vault.
Exactly.
Okay.
Part of that interconnected design we were talking about,
Right.
it's not just about finding the vault. It's about, proving you deserve what's inside.
I like that.
And speaking of what's inside, you should see what happens when you finally get the vault open.
Yeah.
You get a little sneak peek of the loot.
No way.
It cycles past inside before it fully opens up.
That's awesome.
It's like the game's taunting you with what you could win. It's pretty sweet.
That's a neat little detail. I had no idea. Definitely makes the whole thing more exciting. But can you tell me more about the actual loot? Like, what kind of rare treasures are we talking about?
Well, besides the emeralds and the iron ingots we talked about,
Yeah.
you could find diamonds, wind charges, even tridents.
Whoa, really?
And for those music disc collectors out there, some of those super rare discs
Yeah.
only found in vaults.
Wow. So finding one of these could really give you a leg up, especially early in the game.
Absolutely. And then there's how they work in multiplayer.
Oh, right, multiplayer.
Instead of everybody fighting over one chest,
Right?
every single player gets their own loot from the same vault.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a pretty clever system.
That is smart.
Yeah,
I can see how that would make people want to work together
right.
instead of competing for the same resources. Like, you're better off working together to unlock the vault, knowing everyone gets something good out of it.
Exactly. It's all about teamwork and camaraderie.
I love it.
Plus, think about it, it makes the game more balanced on servers.
Right.
Players don't have to travel so far to find a vault nobody's looted yet.
So it's a win-win. More teamwork and less stress on the server.
Okay, I gotta ask though, can you get a vault in survival mode? Like, could you move it to your base or something?
I bet a lot of players have tried.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the answer is no.
Oh, bummer.
You can't mine them, break them, can't even move them with pistons.
Really?
Total indestructible. They don't drop anything, even if you have Silk Touch.
It's kind of sad. But I guess it makes them even more special, right?
I guess so.
They're like these permanent fixtures in the world, full of secrets.
Speaking of which, it's funny how the word vault has so many meanings outside of the game.
Right. It's not just about video game loot. What other kinds of vaults are there?
Well, when most people hear vault, they think of a bank vault, right?
Yeah.
Super secure, practically impossible to break into. Makes sense. Got to keep that money safe.
Exactly. Some of those old bank vaults, like from the early 1900s,
Huh?
they were built so well they could withstand a nuclear explosion.
No way. Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Talk about security.
That's
It
wild.
shows how much emphasis they put on protecting valuables.
Yeah.
And that idea, safeguarding precious things,
Yeah.
you see it in other kinds of vaults too, like burial vaults, where ancient civilizations would like bury their kings and pharaohs,
Interesting.
or even seed vaults.
Seed vaults. What are those?
Basically, scientists are trying to protect like the biodiversity of the planet, right?
Right?
They store seeds from all over the world in these special vaults, safekeeping them.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
It is.
It's interesting how those real-world vaults, connect back to the Minecraft ones, even if it's just symbolic.
Definitely makes you think about what the developers had in mind.
Yeah.
How they're using inspiration from the real world to make these like engaging and immersive experiences in the game.
It's not just the idea of a vault either. It's the mechanics,
Right.
like how they work in multiplayer with everyone getting their own loot. That has such a huge impact on how the game plays and how the community interacts.
For sure. It makes people cooperate, think strategically, even share their stuff.
It's like a perfect example of how the way a game is designed can actually change how people behave.
Totally.
So adding vaults wasn't just about adding new stuff to the game. It was about changing how players connect with each other and with the world itself.
Exactly. You got it. It's like it shows how complex game design can be. So much thought goes into these systems.
We've talked a lot about the good stuff, the teamwork, the loot, the excitement.
Yeah.
But are there any downsides
Yeah.
or challenges that come with vaults?
That's a good question. I mean, for the most part, players seem to love them,
Yeah,
but some people are worried about what it could do to server economies.
I see.
Like, if there's suddenly a lot more valuable stuff available, it could make some items less valuable overall.
Right, it's a balance.
Hmm.
Developers have to add cool new features,
Mm.
but they can't mess up what's already working.
Exactly. That's the tricky part, especially with a game as big and always changing as Minecraft.
And with such a huge and passionate community,
Oh, yeah.
getting these changes right is really important.
Absolutely. The community's feedback is huge in deciding what happens to the game.
Speaking of the future, what do you think is next for vaults? Do you think they'll keep developing this feature?
Well, they've been so popular so far.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if they found new ways to use them in the game. Maybe we'll see different types of vaults.
Different types.
Yeah, with their own challenges and rewards.
Oh, like themed vaults
Mm,
based on different areas of the game.
exactly.
Or maybe vaults that need special tools to open or certain skills.
The possibilities are endless. It's exciting to think about, What will they come up with next?
Definitely. It's been so cool learning about Minecraft vaults and all the real-world stuff that inspired them.
We've covered a lot, haven't we? The mechanics, the loot, how it changes multiplayer,
Yeah.
even the philosophical side of keeping valuable things safe.
It's amazing how much there is to talk about with just one feature of the game.
And that's what makes Minecraft so amazing, right?
Totally.
It always makes you want to explore, be creative, and think outside the box.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how much depth there is to this game. We've talked about so much today, like how vaults actually work and all those connections to real-world history and stuff.
And we've only just scratched the surface. There's always something more to discover, More to think about, more to learn.
That's what I love about these deep dives. It's like
Yeah.
we're peeling back the layers of some huge, complicated puzzle,
Yeah.
finding all these cool connections and ideas.
And the coolest part is it makes you ask even more questions, like, where else can we go with this?
Right. It's a journey that never really ends.
It doesn't.
And that's what makes Minecraft so special. It's always pushing players to be curious, to try new things, to see what they can create.
So we're wrapping up our Vault deep dive,
Yeah.
but I want to leave you with this. What other real-world stuff could they put in future updates? Like, what else from history or culture or even science could they bring into Minecraft?
That's a great question. The possibilities are huge.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we'll see ancient ruins based on real archaeological digs
Oh, yeah.
or underwater cities, inspired by marine biology and stuff.
What if they had a way to, build astronomical instruments?
Right.
So players could track stars and planets in the game?
That would be insane. Think of how much people could learn.
Right. It's exciting to imagine how Minecraft will keep changing